welcome back to the CamijoKnit podcast. Today it is Friday, April 28th. It is around noon. It's spring, sunshine. Here in Denmark the wind is cold, but at least it's spring and it's getting better. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Camilla. I live here in Denmark with my family. And I work as a knitwear designer and a hand dyer. So every other Friday, I do a podcast, and this is episode number 66. And every now and then I do a little vlog from my house or my summer house or from the dye studio, or if I travel somewhere, I make small vlogs. So you can check all those out on playlists. I have like playlists, so you can go check out if you want to see the podcast or the vlogs, or for Christmas I do Vlogmas. So there's different things. Sometimes I do knitting schools, but it's actually been a while since I did some kind of tutorial. I should be getting back to that, but I always say that, so who knows when that'll happen. I made myself a nice cup of coffee, and I hope you have a lovely beverage so you have some time for yourself to knit and relax and watch a little knitting podcast. That's what I like to do when I need a little relaxed time. Today I am wearing my Giselle shawl. I have been wearing my Giselle shawl for several episodes, but never this specific Giselle shawl. This is the first Giselle shawl that is actually made in my own yarn, and I'm extremely proud of that. It is in the color vanilla, so the lace silk mohair is in the colorway vanilla, and the garter stitch part in the misty base is in the spicy caramel colorway. And this particular yarn you can only get when you buy this Giselle kits. And it's just because it's the perfect substitute for the yarn that I used to use for the first Giselle shawl that I made before I started to dye my own yarn. It is I'm just going to make sure that I say everything correctly, because you can buy this as a kit in my web shop. And the Misty is a 60% merino, superwash merino, 20% baby alpaca, and 20% silk. And it's a 1-ply yarn. So it is, and the lace is just a normal just a normal silk mohair. But this one is just my own hand-dyed one. And I did not knit this one myself because I didn't have the time. So one of my loyal test knitters, Jette, she has been testing for me since the beginning. I think she has tested 10 or 20 of my patterns. And I asked her, Jette, I am running out of time. Can you please help me? Will you knit the Giselle shawl for me? And she said, sure. And it took her like 5 minutes. not exactly, but she was really fast. It took her like a month or so. So she's incredible. So thank you, Jette, for this. I posted some pictures on Instagram the other day. I like to wear it like a scarf, like this. And I'm so happy that Jette made it like big. So I didn't even measure to see if it was bigger than what the pattern says. But in my own version, I think I did the garter stitch version, the part a little bit too tight. And I love that Jette did not do that. So this is big and lovely. I love this shawl. You can also just buy the pattern if you don't want to buy the kit. But I have the kits available in the shop. I have the color that I have here, and also I think 2 other colors. But let me know if you want to do like another color combo. If you want to take out the silk mohair and put in another color, that's no problem at all. And even if you want this dyed in another color, let me know. It's not a problem. I'll be happy to do that. So this is one finished object that I didn't finish myself, but it still counts as a finished object, I think. So this is my Giselle shawl. Another finished object that I didn't finish myself is right here. It's actually the same colorway, the spicy caramel. This is in my merino silk cashmere base, which is a fingering weight yarn. It is 70% merino, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. So it is so soft and wonderful. And this is my sandcastle cardigan. And there are two versions. I made one in DK weight. I made a version in DK weight, and I also made a version in the fingering weight. And this is fingering weight. Yeah, so this is knit in a size 2 years. And you need 2 skeins of yarn for this, so that's not really that bad. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so cute. I love this colorway. So this is an amazing knitter, Trine, from here, not far from where I live, like 30 minutes away from where I live. She did this for me, and I'm just so grateful that I have knitters that want to knit up some of my models for me to have when I go to shows and events. It's just so good to have some of my own models knit up in my own yarn. And since I started to dye yarn, it's taking up a lot of my time, so just developing new knitting patterns and also having time to just knit up old models is just impossible. I just do not have the time to do all that, unfortunately. So it's just so good that I have people that want to do that for me. So thank you, Trine, and thank you, Jette, for being just amazingly knitters. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, it's just so easy to have so many finished objects when you don't have to finish them yourself. The only finished object that I have, I have a delivery. I might need to get back to you. But anyway, I can show you my only finished object that I knit myself. This is in the yarn from Bird of the Month of this month, the Yellow Hammer, or in Danish, Guldspur. And some of you might know that I have been trying a little bit to do different things with the minis for these sock clubs. So for this one, I just finished half of a mini skein and then half of the other mini skein, and then I used the main skein, and then I did the opposite on this one. So just to see. So I used one skein and then the other mini skein and the rest for the foot. And I have worked 40 rounds of each color, and I still have left over. So I think actually maybe you could do 45 rounds of a mini, and I have 64 stitches on my needles for socks, and I always knit on a 2.25 millimeter needle. I am in love with, I think that have I made 4 birds already? Yeah, I think this is my favorite one. Last month it was the bullfinch, and this was another way to use the minis, so I tried to experiment a little bit. I haven't used these. The first bird that I did was in Danish is called Fuglekongen, and in English I forgot. Anyway, those socks I use all the time, and I am actually a little sad that I used them. It could have been fun if I had just kept all the socks for all the month and have them unused so I could just look at them. But I have nice pictures. That's good. Stay tuned, because today I will reveal Bird of May. And once this episode releases and you're watching this, pre-orders will be ready. So with every bird of every month, I knit a pair of socks, and I, as I said, will experiment a little bit with the minis, but I will also knit the socks in the different bases. So this was my Gold Stellina sock base, which is a 2-ply high twist yarn, and I love it. I really like all my sock bases very much. That's why I have all the sock bases. I have a new sock base that will be launching maybe in 6 months or longer, but I will be replacing one of my sock bases with a new sock base. That's all I'm gonna say. This is my CamijoKnit sock base, which is an 80-20, and this is the Gold Stellina, which is a 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% Gold Stellina. So that is 2 bases. Talking about socks, I just started dyeing some sock blanks. And when dyeing sock blanks, I want to do what is not possible to do when you just dye the yarn, which is to make like a fade. You can absolutely make skeins that fade, but the fade will be visible when you knit in the round, or you don't start with one color and end your project with one color. You can only dye yarn that way when you do sock blanks. So this is my first attempt of dyeing sock blanks, and I love this fade from almost like a deep black purple into a more blue and ending up with almost like a cherry pink. They will be available in the shop by the time you watch this. I only have, I think, 3. So if you want to make sure to get one of these, you should hurry. I will be making more, but I didn't write down the recipe for this color. So if this is the color you want, you have to do it now. I have a delivery. Hold on. So I just had a delivery. I needed some new, I can't explain that in English, but when I go and as a vendor for the big yarn events, I needed some new thingies to put my yarn on, and yeah, they just arrived, so that's perfect. I have an exhibition. I don't know if you see that, but there's a huge knitting event in the northern part of Jylland in 2 weeks called Saltum Uld Festival. So any of you Danes out there are going, I will be seeing you. I will be in tent number 4. So yeah, actually the place was sold out and I couldn't get a vendor place a booth there. But luckily something happened and the space opened up. So I got an opportunity to go and we're going. Hopefully Lars will be up for it. Whole new news. Lars is, some of you know, if you have watched this podcast, if you are a regular viewer of the podcast, you know that my husband got really sick when we were in Austria on our ski vacation, and that just took another turn. So I will briefly tell you a little bit more about that in the end of the episode, because if you're not interested in my personal life and what is going on here in my real life at my real house with my real family, that's fine. So I will just talk about a little bit about that in the end, but boy, we're in for a new drama. Anyways, that was socks and sock yarn and sock blanks. And the last knitting project that I have to share with you. I was really hoping that this project would be finished by now, and it's almost finished. And I did write the pattern. I was being so good. Usually I knit the thing, I write the pattern on notes, like on paper notes, and it's impossible to read my own handwriting because I add notes and I erase something and I add something new. But I did write the pattern already on my computer, like in a real document. So the pattern is ready. I'm just not gonna send it to any testers before I'm certain that that's the way it's going to be, because I added a section. I thought I wouldn't, but then I didn't. Then I did anyway. I thought I was going to end, wow, it looks good, right? I thought I was going to end the shawl by this garter stitch pattern here so that it was cohesive. So that you go, those 2 colors, a garter, those 2 colors, a garter, those 2 colors, and a garter. But then I was just not sure if it would be wide enough. And then I thought it's better that I make it too big and then I can adjust the pattern. Or in the pattern, I can make an option of 2 sizes, because not everyone wants their shawls huge like I do. Someone actually just likes a little smaller scarf or shawl. So I'm just gonna add this extra section, and in a way I think it looks good, because then I will end this shawl the same way I started the shawl. So this mint and teal down at the bottom will also be how the shawl will end. So when you wear it, the tips of the shawl and the ends of the shawl and the tip of the shawl will be the same. So that might, whoopsie daisy, I don't want to lose any stitches here. yeah, so I'm pretty close to being done. This has been so much fun. I think changing between slip stitches and just some mindless garter is just perfect. And this slip stitches is just so easy. And you do the slip stitches one row, and when the row you knit back is just knit the entire row. So it's the perfect mix between doing something and then relaxing and then changing color. So I'm thinking about new colorways. I'm thinking about making one in my new Buttercup colorway that I showed you the last time. This is a new colorway and I am obsessed with this color. So I thought it could be fun to have it in like one of these Buttercups, and maybe the spicy caramel or hazel, like those light browns, yellow tones. Thinking about that. I might dye those and send them to a tester for them to test it for me and send it back. I love that I can just send out the yarn to someone and they knit it and they send it back. It's just like Christmas Eve all over every time. So I'm very, 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 very close to being finished with this. And then I will add either tassels or what are they called? The big ones with the knot. Anyway, never mind. I'm loving this. In the beginning, when I did this show, when I was like down in this part, I was like, I wasn't sure if I had picked the right colors together, but then I know never to judge until you have a little bit more fabric. And now that I have this much fabric, I just love it. I love it. So I'm thinking by this weekend it will be done, and I can add some tassels and take some pictures and complete the pattern. And I've had some nice people write me and said they would love to test. So that's nice. And if you want to test, send me an email. Don't text me on Instagram because those messages get lost. And I've said that before. The best way to reach me is to actually just send me an email. You can find my email address down here in the show notes or on my website. I don't check Ravelry that much, so don't write me on Ravelry if you want to make sure that I read your text within a few days. Email me is the best. So if you're interested in I need to ask you, because so far I just called this the zebra shawl, but I don't want to name it the zebra shawl. So I need to come up with another name, and usually I'm pretty good at coming up with names, if I may say so myself. But my mind is blank. I really like the idea of a name that somehow says something about the last couple of months of my life, because I started designing this shawl while I was in Austria and Lars got sick, and it seems like I'm finishing it when he is almost completely recovered. More about that later, but I was kind of looking for a word like anticipation, waiting, patience, healing, getting well, feeling better, but I just couldn't find the perfect word. Probably because I'm just not a native English speaker, so my vocabulary is just not as good as I needed it to be in order to find the perfect name for the shawl. Comment down below if you have a good idea for a name for the shawl. I like it when the names are has a story or is a little fun. So don't be afraid to suggest something a little bit out of the ordinary. That's fine. So the other day I got a package. I have some very sweet viewers and some very nice customers, and I have a lovely woman named France, and I'm not gonna reveal any more about her name or her whereabouts, but she sent me a package and I was just so moved. And I've been trying to send her emails to say thank you, but I don't know if she got the mails. Anyway, look what she sent me. I'm over the moon. First of all, she sent me fibers to spin. And this is a Tusa silk viscose bamboo and wool blend. And it is so gorgeous. Look at this. And it is so soft. I can feel the silk and the wool. And all I need now is a spinner, because I can't spin it because I don't have a spinner. And I'm debating if I should get a brand new one, or my aunt just texted me the other day that a friend of hers, she had her mom's old spinner. It's called a spinning wheel. And it's like 100 years old. And I don't know if that will work or not. I can try it out, I guess, and then see. Or if I should get an electric spinner, or if you are a spinner, what would your recommendation be for me? Because I'm just dying to try to spin this yarn because it's so pretty. It is from this brand, Hello Yarn, in the colorway Night Owl, and it's an August fiber club. So I just want to show you the name of who made this. I can't wait. Thank you so much, friends. I'm crazily over the moon. She also sent me a skein of sock yarn. And I cannot make striped yarn like this, so I'm so excited to cast this on. This should be insanely fun. This is from String Theory Momentum. And she also sent me this sock yarn. It's like a fade. So I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, friends. And she also sent me stitch bangers. Look, all these cute ones. I love the knitting world. We are all just so good to each other. Thank you, friends. I'm so happy. And you're just the sweetest thing to send me a gift. You really shouldn't have, but I'm glad you did. So thank you so much. What else do we have on the table, guys? I have a new colorway. Ooh. It actually is not a new colorway because I have had this colorway on my silk mohair, and it looks like this. It's called Golden Sky. And it is one of those colorways that I just myself was in love with. It's like, has some baby blue and a lot of gold. And my local yarn store, they wanted more of this. They have this colorway in the store, and they were out. And I thought, well, if I'm going to dye this colorway anyway, I might as well try it out on some of my other bases, because I've never tried it on any other base except my silk mohair, which is nuts. So I dyed it on my silky lace. And I did it on my, I should say my new sock base. I didn't mean to buy this base. It was actually not on purpose. But this is like an 80-10-10 base. So it's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So this is for luxury socks. And I'm calling this base Luxury Sock in my web shop. I'm not sure what to do, because I don't know why I have this yarn. I have ordered the wrong base when I ordered yarn a few months ago, or they sent me the wrong base. But when I go back, I can see if I made the mistake or if they made the mistake, but it doesn't matter. It all is good. But I have like 3 kilos of this base, and I also dyed some in the buttercup, because I love the buttercup. I only have these 2 colors in this base so far. And I'm not sure what to do, because if you go to my website and if you look at fingering weight yarn, I have so many bases and it's too much. And at some point I need to really be rough and decide on what bases to keep and what bases to let go. And when it comes to socks, it's just so much fun that we are so different, because actually the base that I have that is best suited for socks is my BFL base. And it feels like y'all just don't want to knit socks in the BFL base. Let me know down below why you don't prefer the BFL base, if it's because you don't like the colors I have in that base, or why. What is your favorite sock base and why? I need to know, because I need to let go of some of all these sock bases. I personally love the sock base that has this yardage. So this is 365 meters per 100 gram. And what is that in yards? I have no clue. A little bit more in yards. I love high twist because I like that the socks, they get a little bit more squishy and thick. And my feet just loves socks knit in a high twist like this. Most of you wants to knit socks in my Camijo sock base, which is my 80/20. And that is a 4-ply yarn, which means there are 4 strands. And this is a 2-ply yarn, which means there are 2 strands of yarn twisted into a skein of yarn. And the BFL is just, the BFL wool is just a stronger wool. It's stronger than the merino. And I also have then I have the strong sock, which is 25 nylon and 75% merino. So a little bit more nylon to make it more sturdy. Is that the word? At least stronger. So it feels like you just want to knit really soft socks that doesn't last as long as they would if you would knit the socks in BFL or strong. So I'm just curious. Let me know what you think about sock bases. Why do you choose that sock base and not the other sock base? What do you think about the high twist? Yeah, I would like some thoughts on that. I don't think this is a base that's going to stay in my shop unless I decide to keep this and let my merino sock base go out. It's so hard because I have so many bases, and I just want to keep the base that is that dyes up the best, that takes the dye the best, that looks the best when it's twisted and knit into socks. And this is my favorite. Doesn't have to be with cashmere, but this high twist yarn is my favorite. And the BFL. I love the BFL. I love the BFL. So let me know a little bit more about your thoughts on sock yarn. I would really love to know that. Was that all? I can't believe that's all. Oh, look what I did. I don't know if I showed you. No, I forgot. I need to show you my new wool tops. Hold on. So, okay. Many of you might know Casey Apple. She has the podcast Young Folk Podcast. She's a friend of mine. When I watch Casey's podcast, I'm just in love with her room, and her color scheme is just gorgeous. If you look at my room, it's just really pale and it doesn't look like half as good as Casey's does. I was so inspired by the colors of Casey's podcasting room and her color scheme in general that I did the Casey colorway. The Casey colorway is, as I said, inspired by Casey. And I did these wool tops, and I sent her some of the wool tops for her to try out, my wool and the colors. Luckily, she liked it. She has spun these wool tops into yarn. I don't know if she has plied it yet, but she has done single ply yarn, and I know she's going to ply those together and knit something. But now I dyed enough of these wool tops so that I have them available in the shop. I will link them down below. This is the Casey colorway, and I think I have 5 or 6 of these. They are 180 grams a piece. And I made a new batch of my Sprout colorway. I love this colorway. It's so springy. And since I was doing Casey colorway and the Sprout colorway in my wool tops, I thought, what will they look like on yarn? And I forgot to bring the yarn. Hold on. This is the Sprout colorway on yarn. I dyed this on my merino sock base, which is my 80% merino, 20% nylon, high twist, 365 meters per 100 grams. My favorite sock base. So this is Sprout. I just caked one up because I'm going to knit a pair of socks in this colorway for my daughter Esther's friend at the boarding school, Elma. I asked her if she would like a pair of socks, and she would. So I was just so curious to see this colorway knit up in a pair of socks. So if you follow me on Instagram the next couple of days, you might see some progress on that. And the Casey colorway I tried on my tweed yarn, and it turned out like this, and I'm in love with this. I think it turned out so good, and I just wanted to. I'm also still debating if the tweed yarn is something I should keep. I have the tweed yarn in both DK and fingering weight. I have not had the fingering weight yarn online because I just haven't had the time to dye any of this yarn. And the DK weight I only have available in the shop undyed. So I'm thinking maybe I should just put them online and make them available for like dye to order kind of colors. But I was just curious to see what the Casey colorway would look like in this tweed yarn. It is 85% merino and 15% Donegal nep, which is also just a merino. So yeah, these are online. I think they will. I will make sure that they are online by the time you see this. So, and I will link down below. Casey wool tops and Casey yarn if you're interested. But I'm going to dye some of this Casey colorway in my other bases because I really like how this turned out. Very much so. I love to dye yarn. If you haven't noticed, I get so excited every time I come up with a new color or yeah, I just love it. I have the best job in the world. I used to have the best job in the world as a teacher, but I quit. I quit my job. So I will not be returning back. I will stay here and dye yarn and work on knitting patterns. And I really want to invest some more time in designing those patterns. I miss that. I was going to show you a new idea that I have, but I might just keep that a little bit longer until I have something more to show. Okay, so the final thing, bird of the month of May. And the bird of May is the jaybird. In Danish, skovskaden. And I'll put a picture up here of the jaybird. I was very much in doubt on what bird to pick. But I ended up picking this one because I knew this was going to be a bird of some month. I wasn't sure if it was going to be this month or next month. But going through all the birds that I have in mind for Bird Yarn Club, the Bird Yarn Club. This one was very much a bird that I was looking forward to dyeing. And there was another bird that it would have, in some way, it would have made more sense to choose the other bird because it's a bird that will return to Denmark here in May. Because a lot of the birds that we have, they go south for the winter and then when they come back. So this is one of the birds that actually come back. But I'll dye that bird next month. So this month, I will I will dye the jaybird. I'm so excited about it. So pre-orders are open now. And I think that's it for now. So if you're only here for the knitting and the yarn and the knitting related content, this is it for now. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. I'm CamijoKnit on Instagram. The algorithms there is still driving me crazy. I try my best to post, but because Lars went back to the hospital last weekend, and my energy was just not where it usually is when it comes to work, I didn't post as much, and then Instagram will just punish you. So yeah, that's what happened. But anyway, yes, so Lars, update on Lars. He's fine. He's doing okay. But he went to the hospital last week to get his gallbladder removed on Thursday. That was a plan all the time because he had such a serious gallstone. Well, the attack was not serious, but the fact that the gallstone got stuck in his system and kind of shut everything down, and he had the worst infection. It was decided that it was best to remove his gallbladder just to avoid anything like this in the future. So he did that on Thursday. He was fine on Friday. On Saturday, he woke up with a fever. I drove him back to the hospital, and he was released from the hospital yesterday, which was Thursday. So he was there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days with a new infection. Not severe, not like insane infection, but just infection. And his pancreas was irritated. And that is just, I have experienced now. The doctors has explained. I didn't know before. I always thought that the most important organ in our body was our like heart and brain and lungs. But it turns out that the pancreas is just extremely sensitive, and you can't live without it, and you can't replace it. And if it gets sick, it's totally extremely serious. And yeah, so it was annoyed, and we got worried. And anyway, he was there for 5 days. He got out yesterday. He's doing much better. He doesn't have a fever. He's feeling good. He's a little tired. Doing an MR next week just to rule out any other stones getting stuck anywhere. So they say that he will probably be fine in a few days, and that the pancreas just needs to take its time and calm down. But let me just say as it is, honestly, it was a roller coaster, and then good news, bad news, good news, bad news. And I felt like, take me off this roller coaster. I can't just let me know the end result. It was like, numbers good, numbers bad. Numbers good, no, numbers bad. So, you know, the infection then went up a little bit, and then other results of the blood test said bad things, some things said good things. And you know, every day you get the result from the blood test, and you just hope the best. And then if it gets a little bit worse, you get so worried, and then another number got a little bit better. So it's just all the time like this. You never knew what to expect. And now we're just hoping that he will continue to get better like he is now. So thank you for all your support. I can just, I must say that I'm going through all of this with him, and especially in Austria where it was serious. We are in a totally different place now. Let me just underline that. He is not in any danger. And he will be better, and he will be good, and he will be completely well, I know for sure. But still, if any of you has had any experience with this kind of thing, you just know that once you have been in that really horrible place, it doesn't take very much to just kind of go, I feel like I'm back, and I'm so worried and anxious. So fingers crossed, he will get better soon. He will. So, but thank you. That is all for now. Do I have any other news? Yes, I have one more news. That's a personal, private little news. So some of you know that my daughter, my youngest daughter, Esther, is at the boarding school where she is attending a school that does like movies and theater, dancing, TV, kind of like a performance school. And every year they have the Dolly Awards, which is like the Oscars, but for Danish kids that go to boarding school. And schools can like send in little short films. It's called short films, like 5-minute long films. And they do like an award show and they stream it live. So it's like nominees for best female actor, male actor, best lighting, best script, camera, all those things. And then at the end, of course, they say, and the winner for the best movie goes to, and Esther's crew won for the best movie. And I'm just so proud of her. So I will link down below the little movie that they made. It's available on YouTube and totally public. So I'll just link it down below if you're curious to see what it is that they are working on in this school. And I will say that the topic for the movies that they had to make was gender. So it's all about what youth and young people think about gender, and yeah, so problems around that, or experiences around that, or any issues that comes to gender was like the top topic of the films that they had to make. So you can go watch her movie. It's in Danish, but the title of the movie is What Are We? And it's about these two girls. And so what are they? Are they friends, or are they girlfriends, or yeah, little love story, or maybe not. We don't know. You can interpret the movie for yourself. But go check it out if you are curious. I think it's a very cute movie. And they won. And actually some of the jury members had won a real Oscar. So it was like a real good Danish actor was in the jury. So it was like professionals that was judging the movie. So that was really, really, really interesting. And Esther was just over the moon. So on that note, ending with a Academy Award. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me and my business. If you want to continue to do so, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, like this video, and do the same on Instagram. That's the free way of supporting a small business. That's the best thing you could do, except buying my yarn and my patterns. I will see you guys in 2 weeks from now. So take care. Bye, guys.